Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another briouats recipe. This one is seafood and it's nice, it's spicy, it's crunchy, it's delicious. And I think that growing up I preferred the chicken one over the seafood one, and mainly because it was the way it just looked to me. It didn't look very appealing to me, so I would never try it. And I think that like back in 2018 maybe I said that like let's just try it, and I remember loving them. And now I prefer them over the chicken ones, and however they're both very delicious, so I highly recommend making them both. I just prefer the seafood ones a little bit more than the chicken ones. To make the seafood briwates, here we have one large fillet of white fish, and here we have about 400 grams of mixed shrimp and squid or calamari. Here we have a packet of vermicelli that we've soaked in hot water. And for the spices, here we have some salt, just a little bit because we're using other salty ingredients too. Here we have half a teaspoon each paprika and cumin, a pinch of turmeric, 3 to 4 tablespoons of parsley, one large cucumber pickle or what we call cornichon, which we've blended, one pickled lemon, which we've removed its seeds and blended that as well, 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil, a tablespoon of tomato paste, 2 cloves of garlic, a tablespoon of soya sauce, a tablespoon of some sort of spice. You can use hot sauce or harissa, or we're using chili paste with garlic. And here we have about half a teaspoon of black pepper and a little bit of butter, which will then be used to saute the fish. And lastly, we have a little bit of cheese. So our first step is on a pan that we've put on medium-high heat. We're going to add a little bit of butter. We're adding just one small chunk for now, and we're going to let that melt. That our butter has melted, we're going to add our shrimp and squid. And of course, make sure that your squid, we're using squid rings or calamari of course, and we've cut it into small pieces, and we're just going to saute that. So just make sure that you don't overcook your fish, because specifically with our calamari, it's going to, if it overcooks, the texture will just change and will become rubber-like, and of course we don't want that. It's much harder to chew that way. Now we're going to add a little bit of the pepper, about half the quantity, and we're going to saute that. So I forgot to mention this earlier, but make sure to add about a pinch of salt. 2 to 3 minutes at most. We took the fish out, and now we've put it on a strainer in a bowl, and we're going to let it strain off the rest of its water. And we're not going to throw away the excessive water. We'll need it much later. So in the same pan, we're not going to clean it. We're going to add some more butter. And this time around, we're adding a little bit of oil with it. And after the butter has melted, we're going to add our white fish that of course we've cut into smaller pieces. And this one, we're not going to move it around because then it would break. And the same process goes for the fish. We're adding the rest of our pepper, as well as a pinch of salt. If you need to move it around, just move it using the pan handle. Don't use a spoon because the fish might break, since it's white fillet and they tend to be more delicate. While our fish is cooking, we're going to take some scissors and cut our vermicelli, and then we're going to strain it. So our fish looks about done. Now we're going to take it off the heat, and we'll put it in a bowl. And of course, make sure that all of them are clean. We're going to add it to where our shrimp and squid are straining. In the same pan, and don't clean it, because you can see here is the flavor and aroma of the fish, and we need that. We need every bit possible. So we're going to add in our oil and our garlic. And we're adding in our parsley, pickled cucumber or cornichon, or pickled lemon, our tomato paste, our chili paste, and lastly all of the spices. And we're just going to mix that. Some people leave it as it is this way because we've mixed it off the heat. Now we're just going to put it on the heat for about 1 minute to saute it and make sure that everything just incorporates together. And this is what we call sharmoula or charmila. It depends on the region in Morocco. After the minute, we're just going to add our vermicelli that we've cut and strained, and we're going to mix it all together. I just tested it for the spice levels, and as it turned out, it was not spicy at all. And I do not like it when they're not spicy because I feel like the whole point of the seafood briwat is the spice. So I'm gonna add a huge tablespoon of the chili garlic paste, and I'm going to mix that around. So I'm just going to mix that around until it all incorporates together. So after I've mixed in all the spice or the paste, I'm going to add the cheese just for the gooey texture. So my choice of cheese was Edam cheese, but of course you can do any cheese you like. I've done just a little bit just for the gooiness of the cheese. And now I'm going to add my fish and I'm going to mix that. So as you can see, everything has mixed together. Now we're just going to put it in a large bowl and we'll let it cool down. So we've moved to a clean surface to work, and I've done a lot. Of course, our filling has cooled down by now, and I'm almost done with rolling all of them. We're going to apply the same technique we've applied with our chicken briouats. So we're going to take 2 leaves because ours are small, and we're going to just stick them with a little bit of flour and water. Now we brush them with some oil and butter, and from the last briouats that I've made, just don't brush a little bit of the top corner because otherwise the sticking it will be much harder. And now we just take part of our filling and we put it here in the middle. And now we just start the rolling process like we have done before. And lastly, you stick the edges with the flour water mixture. So I'm going to continue the same process until I finish all of my filling. And of course, we're going to just line them up on a tray with a plastic wrap, and we're going to freeze them. And then after that, once they're frozen, we can just transfer them to a Ziploc bag and just cook them. I've freezed most of them, and I've just left these 6 out to show you guys how to cook them. We're going to do the same process as our chicken briouats. So here we have some butter and oil mixed together. We've melted the butter and oil, and we're just going to brush our briouats with those. And we're going to bake them in the oven that we've preheated to 180 degrees Celsius. So you brush them with the oil and butter on both sides so they can get the golden brown layer evenly. And we're just going to bake them, and make sure that you keep constant watch on them because there isn't a specific timing. You have to watch them until they get golden brown. I'm using the small oven right now until we get the bigger one fixed. just keep an eye on them until they get golden brown, because we don't really have a specific timing for this. So this is what they look like after we took them out of the oven. They smell amazing, and also they're nice and golden brown, and they're clearly crispy. And I know they're already spicy from the inside, the filling's already spicy, but I highly recommend serving it with some hot sauce, because it makes for a great addition and a great enhancement in flavor. So let's try one, even though they're still very hot. So you guys clearly heard this, the crunch, and they taste amazing. Also, for briouats, they have to be crunchy, and that means that you use the right leaf or paper, I guess, or dough to make it, because otherwise, if it's not crunchy, that means that the dough is not thoroughly cooked, and that's not very nice. Obviously, we don't want that. So yeah, great crunch, great flavors. Highly recommend making. So this brings us to the end of today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching it, and if you like this kind of content, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and follow me on Facebook and Instagram so you guys can support me to make more content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.